Yo, my man Liu Dongjiu from Laiwa, holding it down in Fenzhou, running that grain game like a boss. One day, dude's chillin' solo in the crib, then out of nowhere he hears mad giggles, coming from the yard, getting closer. Next thing he knows, 4 ladies roll in, one's in her 40s, another rockin' her 30s, then a fine 25-year-old, and the last one's barely a teen. They all line up, giving each other that look, playing around, cracking jokes. Liu knew this spot was packed with those fox spirits, so he ain't even trip. But the youngest? She wild. She pulls out a red scarf, throws it right in his face. Man just picks it up, tosses it on the window, acting like nothing happened. Them ladies giggled and bounced. Next day, that 40-year-old chick rolls back. She's like, "Yo, my sis got mad love for you, don't leave her hangin'." Liu, cool as ice, goes, "8." Few minutes later, the older one brings her sister back with a lil maid, sits her down next to Liu like, "Yo, y'all a perfect match, tonight's the night. You better treat Liu like a king. I'm out." Liu takes a good look at Shorty, and man, she's fire, straight glowin'. So, they hit it off, you feel me? After, Liu's like, "So, where you from?" Shorty laughs, "I ain't human, but kinda am. I was the daughter of the last governor, got played by these foxes and ended up dead, buried right in the yard. Foxes brought me back to life with some magic, now I move like them too." Liu's curious, so he tries to reach out and touch her back. She catches him and laughs, "What? You think I got a tail or something?" She turns around and says, "Go ahead, check it out." And from then on, she stayed with him, never leaving. The family? They started treating her like she's the fox lady of the house. Even the servants gave her mad respect, and when they greeted her, they always got fat rewards. One day, it's Liu's birthday, and the guests rollin' in deep. Dude's gotta throw down with 30 tables worth of food. He needs chefs, but only 1 or 2 show up, and Liu's heated. His fox lady hears about it and says, "Yo, don't sweat it. If there ain't enough chefs, send 'em away. I might not be a master chef, but whipping up 30 tables of food ain't no problem." Liu's hyped, so he tells his people to bring the fish, the meat, the spices, everything, to the back. They hear her chopping and stirring in the kitchen, but nobody sees what's really going down. Plates start hitting the table like magic. The servants bring empty plates, and boom, they're full again, dish after dish. The whole crew's running around, serving like there's no end. Then someone asks for soup. Fox lady's like, "Yo, the boss didn't ask for soup, but I got this." She borrows a bit, and soon enough, she's calling out, "Come get your soup." The dudes look, and there's 30 bowls of hot, steaming soup sitting there. After the guests leave, Fox Lady says, "Yo, go pay that soup back." Liu sends his people to the spot that got jacked, and when they get there, everyone's like, "Oh, so that's what happened." Later that night, Liu's sipping on some wine, and he's like, "Man, I could go for some of that Shandong liquor." Fox Lady smiles and says, "I got you." She steps out and comes back a little while later. There's a whole jar of that fire drink outside, enough to keep you buzzed for days. Liu goes out, and yup, there's a jar sitting there. He cracks it open, takes a sip, and it's that good hometown brew, no doubt. Not long after, Liu's wife sends 2 of her servants from home to check on things. On the way, one of them says, "Yo, I heard Fox Lady's been hanging out fat stacks. Hope I can get enough to cop a fur coat." Little did he know, Fox Lady already peeped the game. She turns to Liu and goes, "Those fools are coming, and one of them's talking mad disrespect. I gotta teach him a lesson." The dude barely steps into Fenzhou when his head starts pounding. By the time he gets to Liu's place, he's clutching his head, screaming in pain. The Fame tries to help, but Liu just chuckles. Nah, he don't need no meds. It'll pass. When the servant goes to see Fox Lady, he gets on his knees and starts begging. From behind the curtain, she says, "You called me lady, that's cool, but why you gotta throw in Fox?" The servant finally realizes what's up, and he's slamming his head into the floor, bowing hard. Fox Lady laughs. "Oh, you want that fur coat, huh? Why'd you have to be so rude about it?" Then she says, "Your headache's gone." And just like that, the pain disappears. As the servant's leaving, she tosses him a small package from behind the curtain and says, "Here's a lambskin coat for you." He opens it up and finds 5 tools of silver inside. Later, Liu asks the servant, "How's everything back home?" The servant says, "All good, but one night we lost a jar of wine." Liu checks the date and time, and it matches up with the night Fox Lady brought him that special brew. After that, everyone in the family respected her as the sacred immortal, and Liu even had a portrait of her made. At that time, Zhang Di, an official from the education department, heard about Fox Lady's mystical powers. So, pretending to be an old friend from the same hometown, he shows up at Liu's crib, trying to get a glimpse of her. But Fox Lady? She wasn't having it and refused to see him. So Liu shows Zhang her portrait instead, but Zhang insists on taking it with him. Back home, Zhang hangs the painting up next to his seat and starts praying to it every morning and night. He's like, "Yo, with your beauty, you could go anywhere, but you chose that old man Liu? I'm just as good, if not better. Why don't you come visit me instead?" One day, Fox Lady turns to Liu and says, "The Zhang dude is getting too cocky. Watch me handle him." While Zhang is praying to the portrait again, it suddenly feels like someone smacks him in the head with a ruler. His head's throbbing so bad he thinks it's gonna explode. Terrified, Zhang sends the painting back to Liu's place immediately. When Liu asks Zhang's servants why they returned the painting, they try to brush it off, but Liu laughs. "Let me guess, your master's got a killer headache, right?" The servants realize they can't hide the truth and finally tell Liu everything. Not long after, Liu's son-in-law, Kusheng, shows up, also trying to see Fox Lady. But she ain't interested, and even though Kusheng begs, she refuses. Liu tries to talk her into it, saying, "He's family, come on, why so serious?" Fox Lady's like, "If your son-in-law comes to see me, I gotta give him a gift. His expectations are way too high, and I can't meet them. But if he insists, tell him to wait 10 days. So, 10 days later, Kusheng rolls up and bows behind the curtain, barely able to make out her figure. He's too scared to stare too long, and as he leaves, he keeps glancing back. From behind the curtain, Fox Lady laughs. Oh, Kusheng's looking back. And her laugh is creepy, like an owl hooting in the night, freaking him out so bad he stumbles away like he's lost his soul. Kusheng sits for a while, trying to get his nerves back. Then he says, "Man, her laugh was like thunder. My body didn't even feel like mine anymore." Later, a maid comes by and hands him 20 tools of silver, courtesy of Fox Lady. But Kusheng, feeling cocky again, says, "Yo, the sacred immortal is with my father-in-law all day. She knows I don't mess with small change." When Fox Lady hears this, she says, "Oh, I know his type all right. But we've been short on cash lately. The other day we went to buy Anliang, but the river god flooded the place, and the treasury's underwater. We dove in and grabbed what we could, but it wasn't much. Besides, even if I could give him a big stack, his luck ain't strong enough to handle it." Fox Lady knew everything that was about to happen before it even went down. Anytime Liu had a problem, they'd chop it up, and there was never a problem they couldn't fix. But one day, they're sitting together, and out of nowhere, Fox Lady looks up to the sky with a terrified expression. She says, "A huge disaster's about to hit us. What are we gonna do?" Liu's shocked and asks, "Is the fame gonna be okay?" Fox Lady replies, "Everyone's fine, except for your second son. This place is about to turn into a battlefield. You need to find a way out, get a job far from here, and you'll dodge the worst of it." Liu listens to her advice and asks his boss for an assignment. Sure enough, they sent him to deliver grain to Yunnan and Guizhou. Everyone hears about how far he's gotta go and starts feeling bad for him. But Fox Lady? She's celebrating, telling him it's the perfect escape. Shortly after, Zhang Xian rebels against the government, and his army takes over Fenzhou. Liu's second son, who was on his way from Shandong to visit, gets caught in the chaos and killed by the rebels. The city falls, and all the officials are wiped out. But Liu's safe, chilling in Yunnan, just like Fox Lady said. When the rebellion dies down, Liu comes back to Fenzhou, but things don't get any easier. He gets caught up in a major case and is punished hard. Dude's broke, so broke he can't even afford 3 meals a day. And if that ain't enough, corrupt officials keep extorting him for whatever's left. Liu's stuck, inside and out, stressed out of his mind. Fox Lady, ever the writer, says, "Don't worry. There's 3,000 dolls under the bed, enough to hold us down." Liu's shocked and asks, "Where'd you get that from?" She just laughs, "The world's full of ownerless goods. No need to steal when you can just take." Eventually, Liu finds a way out and moves back to Shandong with Fox Lady by his side. But a few years later, she suddenly leaves, leaving behind a small package. Inside are a few things, including a tiny mourning banner, just 2 inches long. The fame sees it and thinks, "Yo, this is a bad sign." And sure enough, not long after, Liu passes away,